As a reminder, please like, share, and subscribe and comment. It helps the channel against the algorithm. And message me, DM me, whatever they call it nowadays. Let me know who you are. Let me know if I can help you, if I can help promote you, if you have any questions. If you want to tell me I'm doing something wrong or tell me I'm doing something right, please, I appreciate that. My handle on Instagram is nurse.dad. You can find me at mynursedad.com. That's mynursedad.com. This channel is still in its infancy, so there's a lot to be done. There's a lot I plan to do, just taking it slow, finding my voice, and getting to know all of you. Hey, I want to say congratulations to Governor Youngkin of Virginia, also Governor Morrissey of West Virginia. I'm not sure if there's other states that are doing this, but I know that these two have banned 7 synthetic food dyes from school lunches. So that's worth applauding. These are 7 synthetic food dyes in school lunches, K through 12. This isn't going to be banned from other food throughout the state. But you know what? If they want to start with the kids, I'm all for that. Of course, we need to talk about seed oils, not just in the food, but whatever they use to prepare the food and added sugar and all that stuff and ingredients. But you know what? I will start with food dyes if that's where they want to start. I am totally for that. Other states get on board. Governor Youngkin said this. He said, what we know is that these artificial food dyes, these chemicals that are injected into our food, cause problems, real problems. Now, it's kind of like 1 step forward, 3 steps back. Maybe that's not a fair analogy, but politicians they go a certain distance, but they don't really get into specifics. Maybe because they also need money. But it's like, okay, they cause problems, real problems. Well, for how long has this been going on? For how long do they know they cause these problems? What are the problems? Cancer, chronic illnesses, behavioral problems. Is it the food the reason for certain problems that we're prescribing medication for, and like antipsychotic medication, or like what's going on, right? Why not a ban from all food then, right? Because what's the point of them going home and being able to ingest this stuff? So they kind of go a distance, but they stop short every time. That's why we have to continue to hold them accountable. We got to continue to press them, ask those questions, and not give up. Don't just settle for a little bit. But you know what? I will applaud them. I will applaud this step. I love that we're now talking about what's in our food. It's about time. It's about time. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. This is where the bureaucracy comes into play. So vendors have until July 1st, 2027 to adapt the menus and sourcing. That's also 2 years where some of these nefarious players can try to work their way in, maybe get people unelected, maybe weasel their way into I don't know, getting creating a loophole. Who knows what the power of money. In my experience, sometimes the best way to get around something is to put it into law and then just create a loophole around said law. So hopefully that's not the case here. We really do have a lot of problems in this country in terms of what we're eating. Being overweight is a problem. Being obese is a problem. I'm trying to lose 20 pounds. Diabetes, we talk about diabetes like we talk about HIV now, like it's a thing you could just live with. Like, no, you don't want HIV and you don't want diabetes. I mean, statistically speaking, when you have diabetes, you can expect to live 12 to 20 years less than somebody without diabetes. And we're also not getting into quality of life, something that people don't talk about. Many diabetics are going through it in the latter part of their lives, whether they're getting sicker because your immune system is kind of shot. There's amputations you have to deal with, and we really need to have an honest conversation about this and not just say, hey, body positivity, love who you are. I mean, that is a part of it, but we really need to focus on what's happening. It's not fat shaming or bullying to approach somebody and say, listen, I've noticed A, B, and C. Is there anything I can do to help you? I mean, you literally want people to live longer and have a better quality of life. That is not fat shaming. Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears, I probably butchered that. She spoke of the science behind the legislation, citing studies from the Cleveland Clinic, Henry Ford Health Institute, the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, the NIH. She said these additives are not simply harmless ingredients. No, they are chemical compounds that affect learning, development, and life health outcomes. There's another word that says so much, but nothing at all. Like life health outcomes. What is that? What are we talking about? That seems like a pretty broad word. What are the specifics behind that? Physical, uh, physical, mental, spiritual? Is it childhood cancer? Is it childhood obesity, depression, low energy? I mean, if you were to get into the specifics, I think it would rile the people up, right? If you have a company that turns out, hey, you're putting this thing in food, it's a known carcinogen, right? Like there's a reason why 30 countries won't buy our bread because we bake it in known carcinogens. I'm not even talking about the ingredients. So imagine saying that, right? Imagine calling a company out that way. Like, hey, you're putting something that causes cancer in children's food. They would never say it like that, right? Never call them out like that. No, they say stuff like life, health, outcomes. It just, it reminds me, as if I could forget, who they actually work for, because it doesn't seem like they're working for me. I want to call them out, the power of words. Imagine saying, we have conducted studies and we have traced that this ingredient or these ingredients can cause this. These are statistics of people who have been harmed under the age of 18. I mean, imagine you got specific, right, of what happens. And you put the real numbers up there. People might say, hey, look, I don't think just changing policy or changing the ingredients is enough. I think we need to prosecute some people. But they wouldn't do that. They won't do that. So again, you and me, we gotta hold them to the fire. We gotta keep asking questions. We gotta keep saying, thank you. Thank you for going a little further on this, but we got a long way to go.